On today's show, elections are a hot topic. Students are given an opportunity to get more hands-on in their field, and veterans are finding creative ways to deal with PTSD. There's that and much more right here on Studio A. Hello and welcome to Studio A. I'm your host, Kirby Johnson, and it looks like girl power on today's show. Joining me at the table, we have Dianara Rios, Megan Stokes, Michaela Johnson, and Drew Barber. So ladies, let's jump right into it. As we know, this year's presidential election has been the trending topic for at least a few months. We are now days away from electing our 45th president, and today is actually the last day for early voting. Drew, you got to take a look at how students took advantage of early voting on campus.
Yeah, so students kind of get a bad rap for not being involved in politics as much, so I wanted to check it out, see what was going on with that.
Let's check it out.
Trump or Clinton? That's the question on students' minds as they stand in line for early voting. Bobcats took advantage of casting their vote early at the LBJ Student Center on campus.
I think it's extremely important to vote. I can't express that enough. Like, if you want to stay in our community and you want to make an impact, definitely vote.
And if you don't go out and vote, you're basically voting for someone else, someone else's opinion.
Although early voting has ended, there's still time to voice your opinion.
Don't forget to cast your vote on Election Day.
Students may have busy lives, but know the importance of being involved in the elections.
I'm older now, so I understand my input, and I have to be aware of what's going on around me. I have to learn about everything, so I have to be involved, and I have to put my input in.
This election is one for the history books, no matter the outcome. Polling places are open from 7 to 7 on Tuesday.
Nice story, Drew. It's so great to see students exercising their right to vote. How was the turnout at the LBJ Student Center?
It was really great. There was a line all the way to the back of the Student Center. People were ready to cast their vote.
Wow, so how long did students have to wait in line to vote?
Not very long, even though the line was all the way to the back. It only took 10 or 15 minutes to cast your vote.
Were the students surprised by the turnout?
Not really. Everyone was pretty calm and prepared to get it out, get it done.
Well, thank you, Drew. So Hillary versus Trump, this has been an ongoing debate, and for Texas specifically, election experts are surprisingly moving Texas into the battleground category. Megan, you were able to dig a little deeper into this notion.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton is really making a place for herself in Texas. The last time that Texas elected a Democratic candidate for the presidency was Jimmy Carter in 1976. Right now, the polls are showing that Trump is leading by anywhere from a 3 to 13 point lead, depending on where you look at. But Real Clear Politics averaged it to be about 7.5 points. This is actually 8 points fewer than what Mitt Romney had when he won Texas in 2012. So just hearing those numbers, you can clearly tell that Texas is a state that can be won by anyone.
Absolutely. Well, let's check out the competition.
The race for the presidency is coming to an end, and Texans are split on who will be winning over the state come Election Day. In Austin, a Hillary Clinton store and headquarters has drawn in people from across the state. Workers say that shirts, mugs, buttons, as well as hundreds of yard signs have been flying off the shelves.
This place is nothing but a warehouse in East Austin, but for local Democrats, this place holds way more meaning.
The major loss Wendy Davis had in the election for governor in 2014 has not made a difference this year. With a recent visit from Vice President nominee Tim Kaine, campaign supporters are optimistic about a historic change in politics.
It really showed that the Clinton campaign is investing in Texas, that they aren't ignoring us, that they do see a future here, and they do see Texas eventually turning blue, which is what we're seeing even this cycle.
Texas has remained a red state for many years. Some Republicans have spoken out about changing their party affiliation, but others remain loyal, despite seeing a future of Texas turning blue.
I think everyone's pretty confident that we'll stay red and that it'll swing in Donald Trump's favor. But you won't hear me give Hillary Clinton very many compliments, but the woman is an incredible politician, and her team is great at what they do.
So far, the state has seen record early voter turnout, In counties that typically lean Democrat, like Harris, Travis, and Bexar, turnout is higher than it was in 2012. What this means for the election is hard to say, but Texas is a state worth watching on Tuesday night.
Very interesting story, Megan. So is there a similar setup for the Republican Party?
I did my research and I couldn't find anything for the GOP. I contacted 4 different Republican organizations and only one got back to me.
Does the store and the headquarters campaign just for Clinton, or do they do anything on local and state campaign?
They're very involved with state and local races. They do the phone calls and they do the door-to-door for rallying support.
So the Republican that you talked to, was his organization focusing on like the national level or on the state level?
They focus more on the state and local elections, like the things for state representative, county commissioner, the mayoral race also.
Well, thanks, Megan. Greek leaders on campus are making sure that students have a voice during the election this year. I took a look at how one sorority took social action and encouraged students to get to the polls and vote no matter who they vote for. Let's take a look. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated brought social action to the campus with an event focusing on the 2016 election. Be the Voice gave students an opportunity to learn more about not only presidential candidates, but also local and state candidates in the running this year.
Voting is so important. I believe that your voice is through the vote. You can choose who goes into office, who's gonna have your back.
Students who attended the event engaged in interactive activities and discussion to help them understand the power of voting and how it can affect the community. A lot of student leaders have really stressed the importance of voting this semester, and this is just one of many events that encourage students to have a voice and to be a part of change. The sorority provided informative video to show different candidates along with policies to prepare them for their vote.
You think that you know all these candidates and that you just don't like them, but you never think about why.
Despite the serious theme of the event, Alpha Kappa Alpha ended the event with a positive outlook on this year's upcoming election.
You're making a difference in somebody's lives. Their decisions may not affect you personally, but it affects someone. Just understand that your vote matters and it's going to affect a lot of people.
I don't think the importance of voting can be stressed enough, and it's so wonderful to see students wanting to learn more about the election so that they can actually be a part of the process.
How important is it to do your research before casting your vote?
Doing your research is so important. Research is essential to voting. You need to know your candidates, you need to know their policies, and you need to know what they're actually promising for your future and the country.
Did the students you talked to, either on or off camera, seem informed about the election?
Yes, they really did. Students walked away knowing more than they did when they came, but I was very impressed with the information that they knew coming to the event. It made the discussion a lot more substantial. Up next, the School of Journalism and Mass Communication hosts its annual Mass Comm Week, and we'll see how local Native Americans are keeping their culture alive. Keep it here on Studio A.
Hey, are you in a club or organization? Do you like littering? Then you should adopt a highway. The Adopt a Highway program was created to help keep Texas roadways beautiful. In order to adopt a highway, groups or individuals select a 2-mile strip of roadway and pick up litter at least 4 times a year. Adopt a Highway signs will be posted with your group's name at your adopted section. Volunteer efforts significantly reduce litter cleanup costs and save taxpayers money. For more information on adopting a highway, visit the Texas Department of Transportation's website at www.txdot.gov.
Welcome back. So Mass Comm Week took the campus by storm last week, and Di, you took a look behind the scenes.
Yeah, so Mass Comm Week is an annual event where students get to network and learn from industry professionals, and this year students got to gain more networking experience by working behind the scenes.
Awesome, let's check it out.
For 4 days, the School of Journalism and Mass Communication held more than 28 events for MassComm Week. Students get opportunities to learn beyond the classroom setting by hearing directly from MassComm professionals. Malik Mingo is a former resident assistant for the SJMC learning community. He's actively encouraged his classmates and peers to learn about MassComm student organizations.
These people are now taking what they learned or from me or from people around me, and now they're taking it and soaring in these clubs and in MassComm Week as a whole.
For years, students have been attending the annual MassComm Week programs, but this is the first year of many years to come for students to get more involved behind the scenes. AJ Argeen is an SJMC lecturer who's participated in MassComm Week as an undergraduate and graduate student. He led a team of students who organized this year's event.
It's kind of handled like an agency where a PR specialist contacts a social media coordinator to post something, and the social media coordinator contacts a creative designer to create some designs for social media, and it's nice that they're working all together. I'm pretty much just supervising.
Leela Schooler is a first semester mass communication major who is a volunteer for this year's event.
I transferred in as a junior, so I don't really have much time to kind of slowly make connections. And so I figured I'd just jump in on this. This is a big thing, and just kind of get as involved and connected as possible.
Great story, Di. It looks like a lot of work goes into putting on an event this big. How can people volunteer to be a part of the event?
At the beginning of the next fall semester, AJ and some of the student interns will be visiting MassComm classes to offer those opportunities.
So how many hours a week did the students have to, or did the interns have to spend at MassComm Week?
So the opportunity is very flexible with student schedules, but on average they spend about 5 to 6 hours a week in the 3 weeks leading up to MassComm Week doing meetings and getting all the groundwork done. And during MassComm Week it was all-day events for the 4 days of MassComm Week.
Who were some of the guest speakers that came out to Texas State during MassComm Week?
Many of the guest speakers were actually Texas State MassComm alumni to offer their expertise and experience in transitioning to the workforce. We also had a lot of big company professionals like from Google who came to visit.
Very nice. Well, thank you for your story, Di. So there was another big event that happened here in San Marcos last month. Native American tribes came here to share their cultures with each other and visitors. Our Studio A's Ian Coleman takes us to the event.
Traditionally, a Native American powwow was one tribe's celebration through song, feasts, and dance. Now, the Sacred Springs Powwow brings together tribes from across Texas to share their cultures with one another. Avelio Flores, a dancer in a Dallas-based indigenous group, came to share an Aztec dance.
It's a beautiful thing because you have a gathering of different nations, whether they are of indigenous descent or not.
These springs are sacred to the indigenous cultures of San Marcos and all of South Texas. But what these cultures would like you to know is that they're not going anywhere.
Dr. Mario Garza is the principal founder of the Indigenous Cultures Institute of San Marcos and a member of the Mayacan Garza Band of the Coahuitecan people. He says the powwow brings attention to indigenous people.
We do it here in San Marcos because we want the people in San Marcos to know that we're still around, that we still celebrate our heritage, we still celebrate our culture, we still celebrate our traditions, and we still are here.
Thanks, Ian. Up next, we'll take a look at a business that helps veterans deal with PTSD, and later we'll skate into some roller derby fun. Stay tuned.
There's only one good reason Hamage could be withholding water from me, because he knows that I've almost found it.
It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed.
It was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York.
Books have always been gateways to new worlds, with a story for everyone to discover. They always leave you wanting more.
And there's no better place to find them than the San Marcos Public Library.
The public library has a wide range of books for you to check out, and they even have computers readily available to help you find exactly what you're looking for.
Once you've found the book of your dreams, you can take it home after a checkout with one of the friendly librarians available.
Aside from their massive collection of books, they also offer many community activities, both seasonal and year-round, such as free computer classes and yoga.
For more information, please visit their website or call 512-393-8200.
Come visit the library to discover a new story today.
Welcome back. So with Veterans Day approaching, we have a story that is perfect for the occasion. Michaela, you found a business that helps veterans deal with PTSD and escape and transition back into civilian life?
Right, so I was looking up, just something to do, and I came across the Bracken Village website, and I saw Fantasia Custom Designs, which is what the business is actually called. And so I clicked on that, and I found Vetcraft, and Tony Fantasia, who's the one that owns the shop, he started Vetcraft to help local and state veterans, manage their PTSD, and I thought that was really cool.
Let's take a look at Vetcraft.
It all started with the abundance of leather and motorcycle culture for Vetcraft founder and Army veteran Tony Fantasia. That's what sparked his interest in crafts. After making a leather wallet, Fantasia rolled full force into his newfound hobby.
Helped me resolve some of the issues going on in my head as far as stress and focus go. And then eventually it turned into a part-time job, and then as of last October, turned into a full-time business.
Vetcraft is more than just a hobby. It's about coming together and building a loving community where everyone feels welcome.
If I can connect with people that have similar experiences with me, Army, military life, all that, then that's awesome.
The community Fantasia has built reaches far beyond his shop, and he is able to reach out all over the country for veterans who are not able to visit.
It's like I can't do everything for everybody, but I can at least point them in the right direction. And then once they get a direction, then it's what can they do, and what can we do, and what can we teach, and what can we show. I love that.
What an encouraging story, Michaela. How would someone who needs help sign up for these Vetcraft classes?
Well, Tony encourages anyone who is going through a stressful time to just approach him, and he'll get them started on his introductory project where they just make a bracelet.
Obviously, the focus is on helping veterans, but is just anyone allowed inside of the store?
Right, so the store, it's called Fantasia Custom Designs that he started up with his wife. Vetcraft is just the side organization that he started up for veterans.
So where does Tony want to take Vetcraft into the future?
Eventually, Tony wants to buy out Bracken Village in San Antonio and turn it into a craftsman village. And he just wants to have live performers and have food trucks and everything, and just really bring the community together to help everybody out, basically.
Very nice. Well, thanks, Michaela. So we'll take a quick break, but up next, we'll check in on the Texas Roller Derby. Stay tuned right here to Studio A.
You may have heard of the Boys and Girls Club, but the South Central Texas location is anything but ordinary.
Not only do they offer after-school programs, such as band, art, and robotics classes, but they are also home to the Texas Preparatory School. The school offers classes for kindergarten through 6th grade.
They both work hand in hand to help students achieve success through education, fitness, and other activities. Ranked as the #1 elementary school in Texas in 2014, the Boys and Girls Club's mission is to help build better futures for students.
Enroll your student today for a brighter tomorrow. For more information, call 512-805-3000 or visit www.texasprep.us.
Welcome back. So, fans of all ages came to see true roller derby entertainment in Austin. Studio A's Keenan Colbert got in on the action and met a special guest. Let's check it out.
It's known to some as the most interesting sport in the world. Around here, it's not just the live music and roller skates that keeps these fans rolling in. The Texas Roller Derby, an Austin original, has been wowing crowds since 2001. Their blend of entertainment and athleticism continues to win fans of all ages while staying true to their old school derby roots.
If you like seeing women being assertive and just busting through walls and packs and having no fears, and you want to see a pillow fight in the mix, this is the place to go.
This night in particular brought out a very special fan. The Derby bestowed their first annual Be Your Own Hero Award on former Texas Senator Wendy Davis. The award honored her 13-hour standing on the Senate floor to filibuster in favor of women's reproductive rights.
I'm quite honored, honestly, just to know that there are women here in Austin and elsewhere in the state and honestly around the country who feel like I stood for something that mattered.
I don't think it has quite hit me yet that I got to meet Wendy Davis and present an award to her. I feel like it's going to hit me tomorrow and I'm going to be totally surprised because I feel really like that was totally normal. And it's not normal. I just met Wendy Davis.
After the fans and athletes got to meet their hero at halftime, it was back to the action.
From pillow fights to long jumps to Texas icons, this roller derby is never short of surprises.
With a mix of quirky rules, stiff competition, and dedicated fans, these women make the phrase, the most interesting sport in the world, seem not so far-fetched.
Thanks, Keenan. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank our reporters for sharing your stories, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Join us again next time for our fall finale on November 18th. For Diana Rios, Megan Stokes, Michaela Johnson, and Drew Barber, I'm Kirby Johnson, and we'll see you next time on Studio A.